We're learning about different things that grow. And if you think about outside, we see flowers are growing, gardens are growing, and even animals are growing, and people grow, and trees grow. So we're going to talk a little bit about trees today, okay? Are trees important? Do you think trees are important? They absolutely are important. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about parts of trees and why they're important. This, these are branches to trees. So these are their branches. And you see, just look, the little blossoms are starting to come up. The little leaves are starting to grow. So it's starting to grow the stems. And so here's our branches and the little stems. So it is kind of cool to watch. If you guys watch right now, all of the trees are starting to grow all their flowers and all of their fruits and all of their leaves. So it's really exciting right now. So these are just some shapes of leaves. These are just different shapes. There's a lot of different shapes of leaves. If you get a chance, go outside, and I want you to look at all sorts of trees and just see if you can see all sorts of shapes on the trees. There are so many different shapes. And there are even blossoms on the trees, some little flowers right now if you look around. It's really beautiful. So I want you to look at this right here. This is a tree. Look at all of these roots. Oh my goodness, look at those roots. They're out of the ground. Oftentimes you don't see the roots. They're down under the ground, but these are up above the ground. And there's a tree. What are some things do you think a tree needs? Did you know a tree needs to have air? So it needs to have the outside air to grow. It needs sunlight, so it needs the sun to come and shine down on it. It also needs to have water, so when it rains, it's really important for the trees to get some rain and get water. It also needs soil, so it needs to have good soil down in the ground. And the roots can start growing, and then it grows the tree. So look right here. This is called a trunk. A trunk of a tree. This is a trunk of a tree. Is that kind of cool? It's a big, 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 pretty tree. Trees are really pretty. All right, like right here, I want you to just look. This is in the ground, and there's the soil in the ground. And you can plant a seed, and it can help grow your garden vegetables. It also can help grow trees, and it can help grow your flowers. So you need to have good soil in the ground, and you need to make sure it gets watered. And so I'm going to just tell you, up in a tree, did you know that some animals really depend on having trees to have their houses? Did you know sometimes raccoons, they like to live in trees. They like to climb trees and live in them. Sometimes squirrels and chipmunks, they like to live up in the trees. That is their home. And sometimes, look right here, a porcupine. Sometimes porcupines, they live in the trees. And also all sorts of birds, they like to live in the trees. They build their nests in the trees and live there. So also insects, tons of insects live up in the trees, and they like to live in the trees as well. So trees are very important for all sorts of animals and all sorts of insects. So I'm going to share with you some things that grow in trees, okay? What is this? An avocado. How many of you like avocados? So avocados can grow in trees. And walnuts or nuts can grow up in trees. So nuts and walnuts. There's some more. That. Oh, oranges can grow on trees. Oh, I love oranges. All sorts of fruits. Let's find out more. Peaches and pears and apricots and all different fruits. They can grow up in trees. Cherries grow in trees. Did you know strawberries do not grow in trees? They grow on the ground on vines, but cherries do grow in trees. There's cherry trees. Oop, upside down, I'm so sorry. Apples grow in trees, and all sorts of apples grow in trees. There's green ones and yellow ones and red ones, and even red with pink and red with yellow. All sorts of apples grow in trees, and lemons and limes grow in trees. Did you know that? So all sorts of different kinds of fruits grow up in trees, and nuts. So that's just a few things about trees. I think that you need to go outside sometime this week and look at the trees. I want you to look at them and I want you to see what's growing in the trees around you. It's kind of exciting.